Joe Biden needs to drop out of this year's presidential election. He wasn't fit to hold public office back in 2020, and he's even less fit to serve as the President of the United States today, which is exactly why lifelong high-profile Democrats such as George Clooney are now asking him to drop out. That's right, the famous actor, director, and writer has a brand new piece out in the New York Times today, and it's titled, quote, "I love Joe Biden, but we need a new nominee." Ouch. That's gotta hurt quite a bit, especially since Clooney just hosted a $28 million fundraiser for Biden just last month alongside other high-profile Democrats, including former President Barack Obama and actress Julia Roberts. It was reportedly the biggest single fundraiser for any Democrat candidate in American history. And yet, it still wasn't enough of a show to convince the American public that Biden is fit for a second term in office. It turns out that no amount of fundraising and propaganda pushing and posturing can distract voters from Biden's decline, both physically and also mentally. On that note, Clooney made the following observation in his brand new piece, writing, quote, "It's devastating to say it, but the Joe Biden I was with 3 weeks ago at the fundraiser was not the Joe Big Effing Deal Biden of 2010. He wasn't even the Joe Biden of 2020. He was the same man that we all witnessed at the debate," end quote. And it's true. His observations are spot on. And I wish that he had come out with these remarks several weeks ago, by the way, maybe even the night of that event, because clearly he could see and sense how bad Biden was at that fundraiser last month, even though it was some historic event, right? He's also not alone in his quest to find a new presidential nominee to run against former President Trump. In fact, several Democrats, not just celebrities, but also in Congress, are also calling on Biden to drop out this week, such as Colorado Senator Michael Bennet, who told CNN yesterday that President Trump would beat Biden in November in a landslide. Bennet also reportedly voiced his concerns about Trump beating Biden in a landslide yesterday during a lunch with his fellow caucus members, and he even said Republicans could take control of both chambers of Congress in November as well, the House and the Senate. Of course, that's a big possibility, and while it would be great, actually fantastic, to see a red wave, I'm not sure that Republicans, even with both chambers, will be able to clean up all of the messes that Biden has made since taking office back in 2021. Furthermore, why are Democrats only changing their tune about Biden right now? We know Biden has been a disaster for the last 3 years, that much has been obvious. And yet prominent Democrats in the government and the media touted him as being some confident, competent, and caring champion of American democracy and of the little guy. But now they say he's got to go. So my question is, what gives? What changed? I mean, were his supporters totally clueless about Biden's mental and physical state for the last 3 years? Or were they just lying to us all about the truth? I suppose that we'll never really know what lies in their hearts and minds, but this whole debacle with Biden seems dishonest, disingenuous, and highly disorganized. Never in my life did I think I'd see our republic on its knees like this. It seems like everything is at stake. And it's like the entire Democrat Party establishment has completely gone mad. They've lost their minds, and they want us all to pretend like everything's fine, when in reality, everything is not fine. These are dark days for the American Republic, and it's absolutely humiliating and devastating. Oh, and by the way, I wonder what the Founding Fathers would have to say about the prospect of a second term for Biden. Between the full-scale war against the Constitution and the orchestrated border invasion and all of the entanglements and foreign wars that don't serve the American people in any way, shape, or form at all, I'd guess that the Founding Fathers wouldn't stand for another Biden term. No chance. Not at all. They risked their entire lives and everything they had to rebel against the exact kind of tyranny that's become commonplace in Biden's America. And it seems like this isn't even America anymore. It's certainly not a republic of, by, and for the people anymore. Unless you're coming here to collect free stuff from a foreign country, then it's exactly the place for you. And to that point, The Biden administration has done irreparable damage to this country, and even with a Republican victory in November, it'll take a village to clean things up. We need to regain control of our borders, both with Canada and Mexico. We need to stop the political prosecutions against law-abiding patriots, and we really need to start protecting the American people once again. Which brings us to former President Donald Trump, who's drawn the ire of the deep state for putting the American people above all else. For this reason and many others, I'd argue that the America First movement is unstoppable. And the movement itself, by the way, is bigger than any single one of us. This is a nationwide movement, and it's uniting people of all backgrounds, which is very exciting to see. So regardless of what happens in November, I'll never view Biden as a real American president, because he's destroyed everything that our founding fathers worked so hard to build for us.